Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5. It's been like 5 months, so that's cool. We like to see that. But we got another episode of Tales of the Tide, a podcast where we talk about whatever the tide brings in. And today we have another special guest, a new one. It's been waiting, Peyton View.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here. Like Brody said, my name's Peyton. I'm a freshman at Buff State. Play football. I'm from Plattsburgh, New York, which is a good 6 hours away from Buffalo. I met Brody through the football team, and we had a couple classes together, and we really kind of just we clicked, and we're pretty tight friends now.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll segue us pretty much perfectly right into the first segment, which would be my first question to you, which is for you, what was your biggest thing coming in to your freshman year of college as a student athlete that was like just the main thing you thought of, whether it was like the fact that you get to play college sport or you were worried about something, or what was like the big thing on your mind?
I would say that I knew right away that was my goal was to play college football, so I knew that that wasn't going to be a problem adapting to that. But I thought that classes wise, it was going to be a lot harder than it was in high school. And I would say meeting all the new teammates and having classes with you guys has definitely helped the classes move smoother.
Yeah.
Because when you know a player in there that's been like you were a sophomore. If I had any questions, it was easy to be like, Brody, can you help me with this? Or how do I set up this for this class? And I think that really helped me really find my way with schooling. And then, like I said about football, it was just football's football at the end of the day. And that was easy to figure out.
Now the most unique thing, excuse me, about you that fascinates me is your not proneness to injuries, but your long history of injuries. What would say, in your opinion, throughout your whole career as an athlete, would be your most severe or like most annoying injury? Like whatever one impacted you, in your opinion, the most, and how did you overcome all that?
I would say going into, I missed my junior year of football. I broke my leg. That one kept me out through halfway of basketball, but I was able to come back for basketball. And then after coming back from all that, it was awesome. Trained hard over the summer for the senior year of football. And 2 weeks before football started, tore my ACL at a stupid basketball camp that meant nothing. So I would say definitely that one affected me the most because it was at that point I was like, oh well, there goes my senior year of football, and there goes my chances of probably playing anywhere for college football. So I would say mentally, that one was probably the worst, but I was thankfully and I'm very grateful that I was able to push through and play without an ACL for my senior year, all throughout football and basketball, and my freshman year of college, which when we got to college, a little bit faster, and the no ACL couldn't hang. But I would say definitely that taught me a lot, through mental toughness, facing that amount of adversity. Not a lot of people go through that, and not a lot of people can play through it. So it's a unique experience. And I mean, just everything that it put me through, I think it made me way mentally stronger than I was before. And it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, no, definitely an atonement to your character and your drive as an athlete and as a person. Definitely not, easy to go through any injury as far as any sort of level of severity, but to have them back to back and all that is definitely not something that most people can go through to deal with. So we give your props there for sure. We also apologize for aggravating your knee injury. That's a good one. That's a good story.
You want to tell them about that?
Uh, it was like the first day of pads of camp. Nobody was coming up for one on ones. He steps up, and it was just it just unfortunate events took place. Somebody's, he may have tripped, he may not have tripped. There's no way to know. But that you fell over and ruined your knee.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Uh. But no, that's a good one. Because what, like, probably like 2 days later, we actually met and talked. So that was
Yeah. First day of classes.
that was ironic. That was
Yeah.
bound to happen, I guess, destiny or whatever.
Mhm.
But what would be like your advice to anybody who might, be going through, an injury or any sort of adversity? Because I feel like you are above most people that I know or have met, as far as being able to deal with it and go through adversity. So,
I mean, I would say just whatever, whatever happens, there's always someone out there that is going to have it worse than you, no matter what. And I would say, like, for me, I used it as motivation. Like, yeah, I got hurt, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to come back better than I was before. So, through every single PT session, it's like something in the back of my head, like, I want to play next year. Use it as motivation to get yourself through it because it's not going to be easy. Nothing about going through all those rehab sessions is easy. It's mentally draining and it's physically tough on your body. But I would just say, whatever you do, don't give up. If you have a goal, chase it and don't let the injury get in your way.
yeah, no, that's good. I like that. I mean that could be, used in a bunch of different ways. I think it's true. I mean, we work out and stuff all the time. We do
Mhm.
PT and stuff together, so it's definitely a true statement and something that I feel like you definitely live by and whatnot. But I want to make a joke here, talking about mental, toughness and whatnot. You got to be mentally tough if you're a Bears fan.
Oh, come on.
You got to be mentally tough if you're a Bears fan. I mean, what? Talk to us. How does one become a Bears fan?
So it's kind of a cool story. My dad and I share the connection. We all up until this year, we've watched every single Bears game together that we can. And I mean, obviously, it's not easy times. We're pretty bad. We had a couple good years when I was growing up that I don't really remember. We had the good year in 2018, and then it's just been pretty downhill with quarterbacks and everything. But I'm hoping Caleb's our guy, and hopefully get to see another playoff game here soon. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly as much as they aren't a good football team, the connection that it brings my dad and I, you can't beat that. It's something that we'll have forever, and I cherish that.
Now to segue from that, the connection between the dad. How about the animosity? I put that in quotes because it's not really,
Mhm.
but the animosity between what is he, a Blues fan?
I'm a Blues fan, yeah.
Yeah, a Blues fan and a Capitals fan for the NHL.
Yeah, so I root for the Capitals in hockey. My dad roots for the Blues. I don't know how he became a Blues fan. Uh, I became a Capitals fan. My uncle bought me an Alex Ovechkin jersey when he used to live in DC. So that's first jersey for favorite team. But the nights in the house are pretty fun when the Blues and Capitals play. I would say the Capitals have had their number recently, but I mean, it's always fun. Like, but yeah, we get to cheer together when the Bears are playing, but it's almost better when the Capitals beat the Blues because I like to, talk some crap, and so does he. So it's just a good connection that we have through sports, and I think that a lot of people can probably relate to that with their parents. That sports are an easy way to bring you and your family together, and I just love that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a recurring theme on the podcast is sports. A lot of the
Mhm.
connections and stuff I've made are through sports and whatnot. So, God bless sports or something like that. But what I want to do, we're gonna have some fun now. We're gonna make a hockey team.
Hockey team.
Yeah,
Okay.
not full center and wings and stuff. Just
Mhm.
like two offense, a center, two defense, and a goalie
Okay.
of animals.
All right.
So we're gonna you draw that up. We're gonna do your team first.
Okay. So what you said, offense,
Yeah, two offense,
center,
a center, two defense, and a goalie.
and a goalie
Yeah.
for animals.
Yep. I guess. Well, no. I'll just let you pick, and then
Okay. You
yeah.
want to
And
go
then,
every other, or am I going
no,
all?
no, no. You make your whole thing
All right.
because I gotta reason some things out.
I think first things first, goalie, you gotta go walrus.
What?
Yeah, have you seen the commercial with the walrus?
No.
Walrus and net?
No.
Yeah, I'm going walrus. They're like shooting pucks on him and nobody can score. He's just sitting in net and they're feeding him fish.
I'm gonna look this commercial up and I'm gonna put it somewhere over here
I think
because
it's like a Geico.
It's a walrus! Ridiculous! Yes! Nice save, big guy!
Or something.
All right, sure.
Definitely going
I
walrus.
feel like
and
walruses
net.
can't move, but
But
sure.
he takes up the whole net, so. All right. Center. I'm going to go
What would you look for in a center?
center. I want someone that's quick. Quick,
Quick?
and because you know you got the
Yeah,
face
yeah,
off.
the face off.
So
Quick
quick and
twitch.
twitchy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Which-
fair.
I'm gonna go with a jackrabbit,
Wow.
to be specific.
A specific jackrabbit.
Nice quick jackrabbit at center.
I don't hate that.
No, he's quick, twitchy, close to the ice. He's tiny.
Yeah.
All right.
We're just gonna assume all these animals can skate.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. I'm gonna take one of my offensive players here.
I feel like you want something with good vision,
Yeah,
somebody that's got good reflexes,
but I also want that like stud.
speed.
No, I want the fear factor.
Oh, you just want like
I want someone that is
Okay.
gonna run through your face.
Oh, is that an offensive player?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Let me see. I'm gonna go with a rhino. A rhino is my first offensive player. You know,
I don't know if he's gonna be able to grab a stick.
you dump and figure it out. All right, and then we're gonna just have some speed to the side of him. We're gonna go with the cheetah.
Okay. There's an H on the end of that.
Okay, defense.
I feel like defense is where I feel like
Defense. You want someone that's tall
really.
because they got a long stick, long reach.
Do you get a longer stick if you're taller?
Yeah, 'cause
Really?
Think just like lacrosse. Like you play like a certain position, your stick's longer.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so like if you're 6'7", you can't have a stick that's built for a 5'9" player.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So like usually your defensemen are taller,
Okay,
taller, longer reach, and usually like that's usually an advantage if you have a long reach is your long stick. So right away, I'm definitely going giraffe.
Okay. That motherfucker's gonna have a long stick.
Yeah, yes, he's covering the whole ice with that stick. All right, for the second D-man. I don't know. It's a good animal on ice. Oh, give me a polar bear.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I
I'm
didn't
already
think of
used
that.
to the conditions.
Yeah.
There we
You
go.
can hold that up. It'll be backwards for us, but not for them.
It's all right.
So we got a rhino, cheetah, jackrabbit, giraffe, polar bear, walrus. All right.
Just because of the commercial.
Then
Hold that.
I'm gonna have to look up because I've never heard of it.
It's a nice commercial. It's a funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's like the funniest sports commercial in your opinion?
Funniest? Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like you never go wrong with the Super Bowl commercials. You usually get a good laugh in there at
That's
some
fair.
point.
But
To pick one though,
if I had to pick one, I don't remember who it was. It was like the old ESPN one, and they're all in like an office, and some linebacker just starts tackling them.
all the old ESPN ones are hilarious. There's
Yeah.
one of Ovechkin to stay on topic, and since he's Russian, it's actually a cool thing. They usually put like the date on there, like of when the time is, and it was my birthday, which makes it even cooler.
Cool.
Yeah. And he's like going through the files, and one of the ESPN analysts comes and he's like, Ovi, what are you doing? He's like, you're not a Russian spy or anything. He's like, oh, I'm just doing some late night filing. His terrible American speaking.
That's funny.
Yeah.
To kind of follow suit, I'm just gonna take an elephant
An elephant. That's fair.
at my goalie.
I like
mean, his trunk. I feel like
that.
he can reach out and snag the puck for a face-off or something.
Mhm.
Which, for my face-off, brings me to my center. I'll go against the jackrabbit.
Yeah, that's tough. You want to go small animal on small animal?
I do. A house cat. Actually, no, not a house cat.
A house cat?
An alley cat.
An alley cat.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yes.
I like that.
In the
actually.
alley. You know, like a
Always
creepy-
running from things.
Yeah. Yes. This marker is really seeing.
Yeah, it's getting there.
To follow suit, offense to go against to rival your rhino.
Yeah. What are you gonna do there? He's bumping everyone out of the way.
But I got defense coming. Don't worry. But I feel like I want my. I feel like oh, you got it. I think it'll rival a good against the giraffe. I want a hawk. I feel like a hawk has vision he has the ability to go in and out. He might be able to make a deke or something or move or
As
something.
long as he can't pick up the puck.
Well, no.
Okay.
But he's
Yeah, I get it. He's
bombing and
shifty.
weaving and
Shifty,
stuff.
yeah.
And then I think I gotta have a little bit of size on offense because if they're too small, they're just gonna
Rhino's running through everything.
Yeah, I need like somebody to set a goalie screen on that ball.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a shark.
A shark.
Yeah, a hammerhead shark.
Oh, okay. I like the wide body.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wide frame.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
And I feel like he might be able to just like
just knock everyone.
Yeah. And then like as he's knocking somebody out, the tail's coming around to hit a slap shot or something.
Okay.
Now defense, we need some size for the Rhino. So we're just gonna go straight to like the opposite of a Rhino and just go hippo.
Okay.
I feel like they're tenacious, they're territorial.
That would be fun to watch.
Yeah, a Rhino versus a hippo.
Yeah, that would
be gnarly. And then if it's extinct, could I use it?
Yeah, it's fine. Go for it.
All right, I gotta represent my new club. I'm bringing in a woolly mammoth.
Oh, okay.
So this is what we got. We got a hawk, a hammerhead shark, an alley cat, a hippo, a mammoth, and an elephant. Gonna have great chemistry between my goalie and my defenseman.
Yep.
So we'll put those up on the sides, and you guys can pick who wins. But I think that would be a pretty decent and evenly matched.
It'd be a fun one.
I think your offense is better than my offense, but I think my defense might be able to.
That's fair. I agree.
To hold something down a little bit more.
Yeah.
The walrus is definitely more agile than the.
Starting to think of the giraffe, those long legs. He might be cooked. I don't know how he's gonna do on ice.
But another thing now to give you credit, I've played NHL and I've watched my fair games of hockey and stuff, but I've never been into it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've gotten me more into hockey just as like a overall enjoyment standpoint. Like obviously I don't know certain people and whatnot, but from a technical standpoint, I know more about it. But the other thing that I want to talk about is golf. I don't know what it is with you and Landon, but you guys talk about it all the time, and it makes it more interesting the more I hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you guys got into it. I don't know, like, where that started for you.
So I would say, like, a lot of younger people, you look at golf as like I know when I was younger, I was like, oh, I'm never going to play golf. I can't watch this on TV. It's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, last summer, my uncle knew I was starting to get into golf, and it was like I just got into it because all of my friends were getting into it, and it was kind of like a thing that we could all do together. And being an athlete, you're going to be competitive. So like I told you, like any sport you play, you're going to want to win.
Yeah.
And anything you do, if you have the mindset, you're going to want to be good at it. So my uncle bought me a set of clubs for a graduation gift, and it all kind of just took off from there.
Cool.
And I've gotten better since then, but it's also not a sport that you can just pick up right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's a sport that you're gonna fail, and that's not easy to do, especially being an athlete. You don't like to fail.
Yeah.
But there also has that drive to be better than your friends. So I think it's also a sport like my grandfather, he lives in Texas. I don't get to see him very often. He came up for my graduation, and I got to go play a round of golf with him.
Oh, that is nice.
Like that's something like even when my kids are growing up, I'm going to be able to go golf with them. Or when my dad is 75, we can go play a round of golf. I feel like it's a sport that no matter how old or how like literally anyone can golf. You may not be good at it, but and I honestly would just say that it's a sport that you could have a connection with people forever. Like football, we can't play football forever.
Right.
I'm never going to play football with my dad other than throwing it in the front yard. I don't know. I think if you're just a competitive person, it's just another fun sport. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
I'll have to take you golfing.
Sure. I won't be able to, but I will try my best. I putt. I can do putt, but
hey,
that's about all I can do.
Part of the game.
Way off topic. I don't know if we have any Sonic enjoyers. I got a large Sonic,
mm-hmm.
and I added I added cherries, and they gave me one cherry. I asked and paid extra for fresh cherries, and I was given one. One.
Funny.
Count your days, son. I'm gonna come out with a fast food branch, and it's gonna be called Mario.
Mario. That's a good one.
And I'm gonna give my customers more than one
cherries.
goddamn cherry. God. But genuinely, the connection that you can get through literally any sport is like something that I feel like a lot of people don't really like talk about and notice anymore, especially in today's day and age. I feel like I see so many more people like trying to pull kids away from sports, or there's so much controversy with sports that it's just better to just leave it alone and not deal with it and not do put your kids in it, or get involved or anything, or like, oh, I'm not athletic or whatever, so people are scared to like that was my biggest thing with like in gym class, like in high school, my biggest gripe. Like, yes, there are people who take it way too serious, but like at the same time, like it's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it pickleball to badminton to dodgeball to kickball to tennis to football to basketball. Like it, in my opinion, sports build connections, and like that's why I want to be a coach. That's why I want to be a teacher, and to help establish and build those connections the way they were built for me ever since I was a kid. Which leads me to your other thing. Talk a little bit about what you kind of have. Not obviously, it's not set in stone because you're still young, but what you kind of have envisioned for yourself in the future.
So I knew when my first injury in high school was my leg injury, and my first PT session, I was like, this is definitely something I could see myself doing, because I know like the steps that I took and like how happy it made me. I wanted to be able to help the next athlete or literally anyone. So I want to be a physical therapist, whether it's with a sports team or just at some local hospital, anything to have that person feel what I felt, like being cleared or, jogging for the first time. Like it doesn't sound like a lot, but like you noticed just a month ago when I first started jogging again, how much it really meant to me.
Yeah.
And I just think like being able to help multiple people achieve what they want after being put in a place mentally where you're after surgery or anything, you're not really mentally right. Just to be able to help people, I think it's awesome to be able to do. And that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I had the opportunity to be able to kind of work with you this spring and helping you with that, which kind of is interesting now that we bring it up and talk about it. It's interesting to see the dynamic between you actually being around the people of the profession that you want to get into, and then me kind of taking the role of like being that supporting system that I want to be in the profession of, which is kind of cool. I never realized that until right now as we talked about it. But it's cool that we got to have that, and it's cool that I feel like PT and like trainers and like stuff have like never get the true credit that they deserve.
No, I agree with you.
I feel like a lot of people, especially in like high school, don't abuse them, but like don't appreciate what they're actually doing. So it's cool to be able to have people out there that want to get into that and want to go into that line of work for that specific reason, not simply just because they want to be around sports. But yeah, unless you got anything you want to say or talk about, I think we've done a good job here.
You care if I go back and add on to your getting kids into sports?
I don't care.
All right, so I would say that another way that sports have helped me build connections is coming to Buff State. I wouldn't have met Brody. I wouldn't have met Landon, which are two of my best friends now. And even the people that don't become your best friends, there's multiple people from New York City, from Rochester, and all over the place that I would have never met. And I think that's a blessing to be able to meet them, because I get to see, I mean, not the world more, but New York and how much different life is up in my little city of Plattsburgh and the big city. Like we all have different views, and I think it's a good thing to learn other people's views, even though if you don't see them the same way, it's still nice to be able to know that. And then those are connections you have for the rest of your life. Like say Brody's coaching some travel football team and my son wants to play travel football or travel basketball, whatever it is. There you go, right there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a connection that you have that if not saying force your kids into sports, but if they are into sports, anything, travel baseball teams,
Yeah.
literally travel anything. You meet tons of new people and it's great to build those connections when you're young.
Yeah.
Because I know some of the kids that I met playing travel basketball and baseball, I was able to build that connection with them and I had no clue who they were and now we're friends to this day.
Yeah.
So I just think that getting your kid into sports opens a lot more opportunities for them, especially going into college, to meet tons of new people and make connections that'll help them later on.
Yeah, and I mean, you hit the nail on the head with the whole college thing because, like you said, we get, a college is a melting pot of people and culture and everything. So to be able to have, 5 kids from here, 5 kids from here, 5 kids from here, and 5 kids from here all come together, meet, talk, and then all decide, hey, let's go do this something that we all have an equal, interest in. Like for example, us all going fishing.
Yeah.
We had like 30 people go fishing the other day,
fun.
and it's like it's cool because you're not thinking about who this person is or what they believe in or think or whatever. You're not thinking about what where they are on the depth chart or whatever, all that bullshit. It's just you and people making a connection and having a good time. And that is something that just it gets overshadowed in today's society, but with all the random shit that people want to deal with today.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks, but there's people out there that believe it, and hopefully it'll all prevail through.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to have you.
Thank you for
Hopefully
having me.
we can. I'll be a little bit more consistent with these. Probably not. And we'll make some more. But thank you again. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank
If
you.
you have any questions, feel free to let us know.